So, Purity, we're going to catch up with you and Kane, and you guys have mended your broken legs at this point. Kane has used his healing spell to heal one of your legs, and you used a healing potion on the other one. Kane had a couple of healing potions as well, so you guys are both able to walk around again, and you have your backup Zeppelin that is available for your transport, and as long as you do remember that you also have to now take your revenge. You're also going to need maybe some bigger firepower to go up against these guys now that they took your ogre. You're going to have to go to a goblin shaman that you know of that lives in the elven forests, and that shaman is named Helfart.
What is with all of these fucking goblins and their stupid names? So, am I already there with my manservant?
You are still on the island, so you are boarding the Zeppelin now. So now you have to roll dexterity because you're going to have to pilot it to the area that you need to go to.
Fuck yeah!
She rolled a 20. So you actually fly directly to where you know this goblin is. Like, you are directly above him. Somehow you were managed to find his dwelling. Exactly. It's kind of like Yoda's house from like Empire Strikes Back, but basically on the Zeppelin there is a ladder that you unfold and you can go down and meet with Helfart, who is inside of his little dwelling there along with Kane.
Alright, so I guess I'll leave my manservant to watch the Zeppelin.
You want to do that? Yeah, you can leave him up there to watch the Zeppelin as you go in. You go down the ladder and you walk into the little settlement. You see that there appears to be an old goblin, a very old goblin, with a long kind of gray Fu Manchu style mustache. And he's kind of hunched over a little chemical table, mixing together a bunch of little vials and potions. There's a lot of little magical trinkets in the room as well, little things that he's crafted.
I simply love what you've done with the place.
Oh, it's you! I remember you. What do you want?
I need your help. Everything's been taken by a bunch of adventurers. You will not even believe it.
Well, what do you need exactly? Because if you lost that ogre of yours, that big old felly that you came here with last time, now maybe we can fix that a little bit.
So he goes into his little desk and he basically pulls out these 3 blue gems, and they look very similar to the blue gems that were on. You still have Purity. You do have one of those on you, the one from Lumpy's belt, and the gem that was actually on Lumpy's belt. And he hands you 3 of those stones as well as 1 larger stone. And as he hands them to you, he says, "Look, these are control stones, but there's something a little bit different than what I gave you before. All you do is you press them to the flesh of the thing you want to control. They meld, and then as soon as they meld, they are under your control, as long as the control gem, which is the big old fella there, is installed into the palm of your hand." So this is gonna hurt like a motherfucker for like 30 seconds.
Oh, I'm willing to take it if that means I can get revenge on these idiots.
Okay. You want a table leg to bite down on? I got one in the corner there just for shit like this.
Oh, yes, please. Thank you.
Okay, he gets the table leg and gives it to you. So, we're gonna roll to see how much this actually fucking hurts and how long this lasts.
Oh,
okay.
son of a bitch.
Why don't you roll a d20 against that just to see? Ooh,
Oh,
okay,
motherfucker.
yeah, you're not gonna get the lucky. So as the crystal is melting its way into your fucking hand, there is so much pain that you actually bite the table leg in half and begin screaming in pain as soon as the gem stops eating its way into your hand, the pain immediately goes away and your hand returns to normally able to use it. So he then gives you the other 3 and says they operate the same way. He says those ones will not take nearly as long as the control gem. They only need a couple of seconds of contact with whatever being you would like to control. And the other thing is, you happen to know where Lumpy comes from, so you will be able to maybe get another ogre, or if you want something different, you can search for something different.
What is in the area that Lumpy comes from that might be useful?
Well, Lumpy comes from an area that's a little bit farther away from where you are. He comes from the Fire Sand Wastes, which are further south of you. They're south of the Elven Forest. So the area around you has wild creatures as well, wild animals for the most part.
What kind of wild animals?
Well, you're in a jungle. You're in actually a very large jungle, so there's a lot of relatively powerful animals that would be there, although some of them are rarer than others. So you would have a lot of stuff like bears, larger animals like gorillas and things like that are definitely going to be common in this area. You also have stuff from general D&D. You have stuff like owl bears and things like that that might be roaming around, and maybe you could find something that might be a little bit higher up, like something like magical beings, maybe something like a golem or something like that, although that might not work with your crystal. If you want to roll perception, you can figure out what's in the general area around you.
Ooh.
Okay, you rolled a 19. The dice gods are with you this evening. All right, so you look around the area and you see that there is an owl bear that is walking around, and it seems to be just kind of grazing on berries and things like that. It's not really doesn't look too aggressive, at least not right now. It also doesn't notice you yet.
Can I sneak up on it and put the control or the gem on it?
So that's a +8, so that's a 22. You did roll high enough to sneak up on the owlbear, so you are behind it, and you're able to press the control crystal to the back of its leg. And as you press it to the back of its leg, it fuses in very quickly and then stops. As soon as you do that, the owlbear immediately does a 180 and faces you. As it's about to slice you with its claw, it stops, its eyes glow blue, and it sits back down almost like a trained dog and lets its tongue hang out.
Oh, who's your cute little boy? Who's so cute? Pet.
It lets you pet it.
I scratch under its chin because it's adorable. I found basically the most useful thing in the forest right now, right?
Yeah, that's pretty much the most useful thing you're going to find there right now. Unless you rolled a 20, then I'd have to give you something stupid. So that's one of the crystals. So you still have 2 of them that you can use to find stuff for.
Can I get him into the Zeppelin?
He should be able to actually get up into it and fly in it. It's just going to move a little bit slower.
Okay, I bring the Zeppelin down without much of an issue, and I load him in. We have a new pet.
So you have him on there, and the Zeppelin lifts off again, so you can decide where you want to go. Again, you're in the Elven Forest, so to the south is the Fire Sand Waste, to the north is the main con where the other guys are.
I'm gonna head to the Fire Sand Waste.
Okay, so you're gonna have to roll again to pilot the ship. That's gonna be dexterity. Okay, that's a 6. Alright, so you get caught in a windstorm. You basically make it to the Fire Sand Waste, but you're not necessarily in the same area you thought you were gonna be in. You're a bit off course, but you're definitely in the desert by now. You're over the sand. So you can roll perception from the Zeppelin if you want to try and find something from the air. It might be easier. You'll definitely get a +2 to your perception roll. So that's actually a 14. So as you look down, you see what appears to be an ogre, but it's not an ogre that's quite as big as Lumpy. It looks like he's a little bit smaller, but it looks like he's chasing a sand fox, a small little fox through the sand. It's not sure whether he's trying to play with it or eat it.
And there's nothing else in the area.
You rolled a 14, so the other thing that you notice that's in the area is you do find what looks like maybe a cow that like wandered off from somewhere. It's got horns and everything like that. It's a longhorn cow. You're not really sure why it's there. It's possible that the ogre may have taken it from somewhere, because a lot of the times they'll take stuff from native settlements in order to, for food and things like that.
Alright, so I follow the ogre. I keep an eye on the ogre and follow him as much as possible to see if he leads me to where there are others that might be bigger.
So let's roll for the ogre's dexterity to see if he actually catches the sand fox. Okay, he does not. The sand fox scurries into a little hole at the base of a rock and escapes him. So the ogre kind of just gets tired, sits down, and goes to sleep.
Son of a bitch. He's not going to do anything unless I get that stupid thing. Alright, I climb out of the Zeppelin and go to the fox's hole to try to catch it. Make a friend so I don't have to use one of my gems.
Okay, so what you're going to do is you're going to have to roll animal handling to coax the fox out, and then you're going to have to roll dexterity to grab it if you're going to try and do that. So your animal handling is +2. Oh my god, you rolled a 20. What the? You've already rolled 2. Okay, you rolled a 22, technically, for animal handling. So that fox comes out, and it'll do whatever you want. It's your friend now.
Oh, you are such a cute little thing. So I carry it over to the ogre, and I tap its shoulder. Hello, wake up, little guy. You were looking for this? Do you want it? Yes, he's yours. Here you go.
The fox seems horrified and looks into your eyes, begging not to be given to the ogre.
I hand him over anyway.
The fox trusts your judgment because you rolled a nat 20. The ogre then picks up the fox, looks at it in his hand very quickly, and then proceeds to eat him whole.
Oh, poor little guy. Oh, was that yummy, Mr. Ogre?
Headbender, me think fox might still be alive. Pokes in his belly as you see a couple of little, paw marks start to form, trying to get out. The ogre looks at you and says, "Thank you."
Oh, you're
Who
welcome.
are you?
I am the Goblin Queen. Would you like lots of tasty food?
Yes.
I am looking to make a new army. If you join, I'll give you lots and lots of yummy food.
Deal.
Alright, just come with me up to my Zeppelin. I'm a wonderful cook.
Okay, he comes up to the Zeppelin with you. He's able to climb up because he does have 2 arms and 2 legs, even though he's very hefty. And that Zeppelin is starting to get weighed down a bit. I'm not sure how much more you're going to be able to fit in there.
Is there anywhere nearby where we can maybe strengthen it?
You would need probably a goblin settlement because unless you used Cain. If you used Cain, he might be able to persuade another person.
Then, yeah, we'll find a settlement. I make a food for the ogre and get him to spit up the fox. Because fuck you, I want it as a pet now.
You're gonna have to roll to convince the ogre to eat the food and not the fox. Holy shit, woman. Okay. 19. He immediately punches himself in the stomach and launches the fox out of his mouth. The fox appears to not be harmed, although he is covered in saliva. And the ogre then proceeds to wolf down the remaining food that is in front of him. So you now have the fox, and the fox appears to be relieved to not be inside the ogre anymore. While you're going to go get your Zeppelin strengthened a little bit, we're going to go back to the guys, who Cham is now awake, the gas cloud has dissipated, and you guys are now outside of the gnome's place after Lumpy just murdered him brutally.
Can I let out another?
No,
You
I'm
let out
not letting
another
you do
one.
that. Your asshole can't take it.
Yes, it can.
No,
You
it can't.
knock out.
I will make you take damage to it this
My
time.
asshole can take as many dicks as I want to fart.
Lumpy will hold your butthole shut.
I
I'll
know
make
you
him do it. Alright, I'll roll to make him do it.
No!
That's a strength roll, so that's not too bad. So yeah, he sticks his pinky finger up there. You ain't farting anything for a while. You guys have Dickstab's corpse. His spirit is still trapped inside of Cham's skull, and Vash is attached to Lumpy, much like that of a baby. Now, you guys can go find the goblin shaman named Fungus.
Alright, let's go look for him.
You guys travel to the area where Fungus's shack is. Everybody roll perception to see if you can find it. Okay, so that's a 16. Oh, Lumpy got a nat... Oh, no, Rocket... Oh, we both got nat 20s. Okay. Alright, so everybody just looks to the left, and all they see is that the shack is just right there. It's just sitting there. So you guys go up to the shack and enter. As you enter, you see what looks like a goblin just flying around the room. He's doing various things at the same time, running around the different chemical tables. You're not really sure exactly what he's mixing up, but you know that it smells a lot like sulfur and paint.
Worm leans over
So-
to Potato. He's like, my uncle made something like a long time ago. It smelled just like this. He drank one sip and out was it. No more, uncle.
Okay, the goblin stops and looks over at you. Hey! Who are you? Okay, we're gonna roll and see if Dickstab takes control of your body for this. You're gonna have to roll against that, unless you want to just let him. Okay, so Dickstab takes momentary control of your body. Hey! It's me! It's Dickstab! And Fungus kind of looks at him like, you look different. Very different. And you kind of look like a guy. Look. Long story short, my soul is in this guy's head, and I need you to put it back in my body and make my body not full of crap and put my skull back on. He kind of lifts his eye. All right, I'm going to need some payment for this. He's like, look, okay, you owe me. You remember? You owe me. You got to do this. You got to do this. Otherwise, I am going to lose my fucking mind sitting inside this guy's brain. All right, if it'll make you shut the hell up, I will put you back in your body. Fungus then immediately goes over and presses a cloth filled with chloroform to Cham's face, which knocks him unconscious. At the same time, Lumpy kind of just sits there and scratches his head. Vash has fallen asleep because he's in the position of a baby. And Raka is just looking on. And Raka, you can choose to do what you want.
What'd you knock him out for?
The thing is, if Dick stabs in his head, I need the body, which the body is right... Oh, God, what did you do to the body?
He's gonna be okay. He's just got a belly full of doo-doo and, his scalp's missing, that's all.
So he pulls the sword out of Dickstab to start this off, because he's still impaled on the sword. He never removed that. He then proceeds to cover it with what looks like a magical sheet that's glowing white, and he then drizzles a bunch of green potion over the top of him. After that, he then proceeds to light a match, and he looks over at it. He says, you might want to stand back for this. You all stand back. He then proceeds to toss the match on top of the sheet that is drenched with green liquid. The match lights the green liquid ablaze immediately, and the sheet burns away into ash, revealing that Dickstab's body underneath has been returned to its original form, scalp and fecal matter removed. He then goes over to Cham and presses a hand to Cham's head, as Cham is on a bed that is perpendicular to the one that Dickstab's body is on. He then presses his other hand to Dickstab's head, and he proceeds to mumble some magical words and glow blue. After a second, from his hands glowing blue, he has transferred Dickstab's consciousness over to his now reformed body and removed him from Cham's head. Dickstab immediately sits up on the bed and looks over to Fungus. God damn, it's good to be alive again.
You got a stomach ache or something there?
No, should I?
No.
He looks over to Fungus. You got all the crap out of my body, right? He's like, yeah. Whatever's left in there will work its way out normally anyway. So, Dickstab is now alive. Now that he is alive, he exclaims that now it is time for you guys to go get your treasure. So basically, he informs you that the treasure is in a town called Greenville, and that is to the east of your current location. And there is basically a large yellow house that is on the very far edge of that town. Underneath that yellow house is an old entrance to an underground goblin safe house that has in it all the riches that the queen has stored away.
You know, it's not a very subtle thing. Place all your treasure in the only yellow house in a place called Greenville.
So it's going to take you guys a couple of days to actually travel there and find this actual treasure that's buried there. So if you guys want to start that journey, you can. If you want to try and find transportation, or if you want to just try traveling there on foot. So you guys can decide if you're going to go to Greenville now or not, or if you're going to fuck around for a little bit. But Dickstab is stating that if the queen is still alive, that's probably where she assumes that anybody that knows about that information will go. And if she's still alive, she probably wants money to start a new army.
So I say we go and get this money, and then we buy the army first.
You can do that.
Am I passed out still?
You are now coming around now that Dickstab has explained this to everybody else, and you feel back to normal. Dickstab has told you where to go, so do you guys want to do anything before you travel there to get the treasure?
Is there shops around here?
Roll perception. There are some, but you can roll perception to see what you find. Are you looking for anything specific?
Yeah, like a couple potions of giant strength.
Well, you can just ask Fungus. He's a potions guy.
Hey, you got any potions that make you feel like not so much a halfling? Maybe more like feller like a old potato right here.
You want a potion to make you stupid?
No, man. I want like strong like a giant.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you say that? All right, hang on a second. All right, so he's going to go back in, and he does have a couple potions of giant strength that he's willing to sell you for 5 gold.
I want to persuade him to give us all of it, all the potions.
He rolled a 20. Okay, hang on a second. Okay, so you get a total of 10 potions. You get 2 potions of giant strength, which you can give to Raka. You get a potion of invisibility. Lumpy takes it and stuffs it in a little tiny bag that he carries on his side. You have 2 potions of strong healing. You have a potion of fire resistance. You have a potion of spider crawl. So your 7th potion is a potion of rock skin. And then you have 3 potions that you have no idea what the fuck they do.
And I give the 2 strength ones to Raka.
Okay, so you have officially cleaned him out of potions for free. Now you guys have all those potions, so you guys are going to start making your way to Greenville. At the same time, the Goblin Queen also realizes that this is probably going to be the case. She still has 2 of her control gems left. One is in the owlbear, and she has her new ogre, who's named Stumpy, and he is just kind of her friend right now. He doesn't actually have anything, and then the fox is dedicated to her as well. You can name the fox whatever you will.
Meko.
Okay, so Meko Fox is now your close personal friend.